So you just finished watching a video about Pascal's triangle, learning more than you ever wanted to know about Pascal's triangle. So with that being said, first thing I do is I look, and since it's cubed, I know that I'm focused on the third level of Pascal's triangle. Remember, it always starts with 1. Add those 2, 2, 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3, 1. So what that means is that I'm going to have 4 terms for this, okay? There's 2 different ways to do this problem. The way that you will see it on the internet is you'll have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. It starts with a 1, then a 3, then a 3, then a 1, okay? And each one of these are separated terms. Okay. Then what you do is you take the first one and you start off with cubed. So what you're going to do is you're going to go x cubed, x squared, x to the first, x to the 0. And then you take the second one. Now, because there's a negative, I have to be careful of that because I feel like x cubed simplified is x cubed. But this time I have a negative 2. Now, since this was 3, 2, 1, 0, I'm now going to go backwards. So now this is going to be negative 2 cubed, negative 2 squared, negative 2 to the first, negative 2 to the 0. Okay? So part of the reason I don't like this method is because I'm already getting messy, but I'm definitely going to encourage it. That's fine. So let's just focus on the first term. 1 doesn't need to be done. X cubed is still x cubed, and anything to the 0 power is 1. So this first term is just x cubed. Now I go to the second term. Careful about just putting a plus. So there's the 3, good. There's the x squared, good. But negative 2 to the first power is negative 2. Then you multiply that by 3, because that's all one group, and you get negative 6 x squared. And you move it over. You have the 3, it's good. The x to the first, it's good. Negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. But then 4 times 3 is 12. X, I don't want to put to the first. And I do the last one. A 1, I don't need it. X to the 0 is 1. And negative 2 cubed means negative 2, negative 2, negative 2 is negative 8. And that is my answer expanded. I want to show you another way you can do this one. Is technically this is x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2. I could take these two, box it out. I'd get x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then do this, and then box it out as well, and then get my final answer, and it should be the same thing. Okay? But if you can see, there's a lot of room for mess up. And when I'm saying simplify using Pascal's triangle, I need you to use Pascal's triangle. Okay? But I want you to see this is another method, but I need to test that you can do Pascal's triangle. All right, let's do the next problem. This time we're at level 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1 plus 3 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 4, 1. So that means there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. So now I'm going to spread out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I need to first honor Pascal's triangle. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Now I take the first group. And remember, see how this went, because it was to the third, 3, 2, 1, nothing. This time is to the fourth. So parentheses, 3x to the fourth. Parentheses, 3x cubed. Parentheses, 3x squared. Parentheses, 3x to the first. Parentheses, 3x to the 0. And let me emphasize, I didn't do a parentheses here because when you have x cubed, it's simplified. So if it's just an a, I don't need a parenthesis. But as soon as you have a number with it, then it changes. Okay? So now, I've got to do this one. Notice it's the negative one. Since this was 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, now I go backwards. Negative 1 to the fourth. Negative 1 cubed. Negative 1 squared. Negative 1 to the first. Negative 1 to the 0. If you look, it always adds each group 4 plus 0, 4. 3 plus 1, 4. 2 plus 2, 4. 1 plus 3, 4. 0 plus 4, 4. It always adds up. That's how you know you did it right. So let's look at the first group. I don't need the 1. 3x to the 4th means 3 to the 4th, x to the 4th. So 3 to the 4th is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 81 x to the 4th. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So that first group is 81 x to the 4th. I go to the next group. It's all that. 4 stays. 3 cubes means 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Distribute that, x cubed. Negative 1 to the first power is negative 1. So I'm going to be multiplying 4 times 27 times negative 1. So 4 times 27, 54, 108. But then there's a negative, so negative 108 x cubed. Now I go to the next one. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9 x squared. A negative times a negative is a positive, so that's gone, because 1 times 1 is 1. So I just have 9 times 6, 54x squared. Go to the next one. 4 stays. 3x to the first is just 3x, but I'll rewrite it for my own sanity. Negative 1 cubed means negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. So that's negative. So now I'm going to go 4 times 3 times negative 1, which is negative 12x. And see how it gets a little bit messy, so we got to be careful. This is the nice thing about pink and blue. 1 stays, anything to the 0 is 1. Negative 1 to the 4th power, negative, 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 negative. It all turns positive, so plus 1. I think you can agree, it's not that this is difficult, but it's difficult in the sense that it's really hard to organize. So mathematically, it's not that difficult, but organization-wise, it's really difficult, especially with my messy handwriting. Can you do me a favor and change that to a 2? So you're going to add that in there. So now we got the 5th level, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. I know some of you want to just go back and just add the other level, but the more you practice doing this, the more you just memorize it. Notice how it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. All right. So now I go to this one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little hint. See how this was to the 3rd and there were 4 in the row? See how this is 4 and there were 5 in the row? So since this is 5, there are 6. Just a little hint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, definitely take up space. So first thing I do is write Pascal's triangle. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. I didn't leave myself very much space. Then I do the A. Since the A is just by itself, I don't need parentheses. A5, A4, A3, A2, A1, A0. And now I have plus 2b. I like that it's positive. So now I'm going to go backwards. 2b to the 5th. 2b to the 4th. 2b cubed. 2b squared. 2b to the 1st. And 2b 0. Okay. So let's see. Adds to 5. 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 So I did great. All right, let's simplify this. So the 1 is 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So the first term is a to the 5th. Next term. Stays. 2b to the 1st is really 2b. So 5 times 2 is 10. But here's where it gets a little bit complex, because not only do I have a's, but I also have b's. I know I don't need the 1, but I want you to see it's to the 5th power. Look at it. It adds to 5. What's 4 plus 1? 5. Let's go to the next one. Stays. 2b squared is really 4b squared. 10 times 4 is 40. A cubed. B squared. 3 plus 2 is 5. Stays. This means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8b cubed. 10 times 8 is 80. A squared. B cubed. 2 plus 3 is 5. Stays. 2b to the 4th, 2 is 16. A to the 4th. 16 times 5 is 80. A to the 1st. B to the 4th. Look at that. 1 plus 4 is 5. And then anything to the 0 is 0. 2 to the 5th is 32. B5. And I finished with that. So 32B to the 5th. And there is my long answer. Let's see how many terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more than how many there are. All right. So I'm going to pause it. You're going to do this last one, and then you're going to look at my answer. So I realized for this one, this got super messy because there was a lot happening. So let's make sure you know 2a to the fourth, 2a cubed, 2a squared, 2a to the first, 2a to the 0. Then negative 4b to the 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it's complex, I put them all in groups. Okay? Let's focus on the first group here. So I don't care about the 1, and I don't care about the 0. So that's gone and that's gone. 2 to the fourth is 16, a to the fourth. I always like the first one. I feel like it's a lot easier for me. Let's go to the next one. I got to see there's a 4. 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8a cubed. And then I have negative 4b to the first, which is negative 4b. So I'm multiplying 4 times 4 times 8. So 32, 8 times 4 is 32, times 4, 64, 2, 128, but it's negative. I have 3 a's, and I have 1 b. 3 plus 1 is 4. It's a good check. Now let's go to the next one. 2 squared is 4a squared. Negative 4 squared is negative 16b, or positive 16b squared. Notice how I cross it off when I'm done with it. Now I have 6 times 4 times 16. 6 times 16 is 96. 96 and 4. 384. And everything's positive, so plus 384. A squared, b squared. Sorry, I know it's getting a little bit crazy. It's going to go a little crooked. Let's go to the next one. 4 stays. 2a to the first is 2a. Negative 4 cubed is negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4, which is negative 64b cubed. 64 times 4, 128. 256 times 2 is 512. Negative 512. ab cubed. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 stays, 0 stays. Negative 4 to the fourth is 64. 256, b to the fourth, and it's positive. I want you to notice a pattern. When there's a negative here, look what it does. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. When there is a negative here, positive, negative, positive, negative. When there's a negative here, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. That's always going to work out. All right, let me double check. There should be 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I have time, I'll check it in the calculator. Now, your homework is to do this one, okay? So that means that everything up to here needs to be done by the time I see you on Thursday, okay?